Hey guys, it's my week of curlBOX and I am here in Austin, Texas in my hotel room at Hotel Ella, one of my favorites when I'm in town, with Zim of Travel Noire, who has helped me curate this month's June curlBOX featuring the awesome Carol's Daughter products. And we are here to talk to you about, to give you some solo travel tips. All the time I get people who reach out to me asking me, I guess they see me on my Instagram, that I travel by myself most of the time. I love having people with me, but I love going places by myself. So Zim and I are gonna talk about, we travel differently.
Yes, we do.
We travel a little differently. Zim has some different ideas than me, but we want to try to help you get out there and start traveling on the solo tip.
Absolutely.
So, Zim, first thing we want to do is pick a destination. So, where do you want to go? How do you pick your destination, Zim?
So destinations for me are all about price. I want to know that I can get to a place and not have to break the bank to enjoy myself. If the hotels are cheap, if the Airbnbs are pretty good, if the food is good, then that's typically how I choose my destinations. What about you?
I usually am going for sun. I usually weather, so I'll have my cell phone out and I have the weather on the iPhone, yeah. And I will scroll through to see where it's sunny and gorgeous, where it's not too hot. You know, I'm not looking for the 90-degree place, so if it's really hot in Atlanta, I'm looking for a place that might be a little bit cooler, and if it's really cold in Atlanta, I'm going for sun. So I'll scroll through, I'm looking at the Bahamas, I'm looking at Mexico, I'm looking at Miami, I'm looking at all the different places that may be warm, and I've got to become better at that because one of my friends forced me to do some European travel, some Paris, some Amsterdam, and I'm just like, oh, but I can't lay out. So pick a place, pick a destination, either based on the budget and how are you checking around to see?
So I typically do kayak.com/explore. That sort of allows you to have a budget. Like, let's say you don't want to spend any more than $600 on a flight. You go to kayak.com/explore, you set in your budget, and you set in the destination that you're leaving from.
Okay.
And so it'll show you a map of the entire world and say, this is where you can go for $600.
This is where your money allows you to go.
Absolutely.
Kayak.com/explore.
Yep.
It's fun. Okay. How are you getting there? So when it's time to book your flight, what are you doing?
So when it's time to book my flight, there's a couple of tricks that I use that not a lot of people think about. So Priceline Negotiator is a really, really great tool. It's how I'm able to get sort of my last minute flights when I need to hop cross country and the tickets are like $1,200. I'll like go on Priceline.com and check out the negotiator tab, and I'll start at like $10.
Okay.
And I'll work up from there.
Okay.
And so sometimes you'll find that you can get cross country for like $250 and you'll leave tomorrow.
Wow.
And so, yeah.
So, okay, got that. My tip for how to get there is I'm big on loyalty. I am a big Delta fan. If you know me, you know I love Delta, but that's because I live in Atlanta, and Atlanta is the Delta hub, and you can pretty much get anywhere in the world with no layover. I can't even tell you the last time I've laid over on Delta. So I say go for loyalty. And if you haven't, if you're gonna travel in the next 6 months, try to find different cards.
Yep.
I have a SunTrust debit card that they canceled this, but you could get your Delta SkyMiles. So figure out ways to build loyalty, signing up, different things that you can do to kind of work on your loyalty. And I have found that through my loyalty,
it pays off.
Loyalty pays. So if you got some Southwest in your area, like just make sure you pick an airline and stick with that airline. And even if the fares may go up and down, work on building up your status
Absolutely.
With the airline. So after you figured out how you're getting there, you need to decide, where are you staying? So how do you decide where you're staying?
So for me, I am such a huge Airbnb fan. I will scour the interwebs and look, and sometimes I pick my destination based on the architectural design of a certain city.
Right.
Like Amsterdam has beautiful, clean lines, right? And I'll look at some of the lofts and some of the villas, and they go for, a third or fourth, even more of the price of a hotel.
Right.
And you really get sort of a local kind of experience when you have a host who's lived there their entire life. It's a great way to give back to the economy, and it's also really authentic. So.
Yeah, and the couple picked you up. So if you're by yourself, you're solo traveling, and we're gonna have some more solo tips specifically for that. For me, when it comes to where you're staying, I say to call the front desk of the hotel. So after you search their site and got your rate, check on hotels.com and check that rate, and then call not the reservation line, but the front desk line, and say, give them the story of you're going to be in town, you're still looking forward to staying at this hotel, and you're calling to get the best rate possible. So I definitely want to make sure you do that. Another thing that you can do if you like to travel luxurious, if you're thinking about staying, if you're like, you know what, I want to just go, I want to stay glamorously, but I don't want to break the bank, Magellan Vacations. You can check them out. They only book luxury hotels, but 4 and 5 star, but they cannot ever publish their low prices. So you call or you email them and they email you back options. And so if you have activities planned in the area, they'll give you hotels that are central to what you're doing. So you literally can email them and say, hey, these are my 4 or 5 activities that I'm doing for the weekend. Where should I stay? Because that's going to cut down on your cab costs, and you want to walk some places. And then our final is sort of like, what do you do? I'm by myself, you're by yourself. You've got how you got there, you know where you're staying. What the heck are you doing?
So I'm like on this new thing where I like rent a car in the destinations that I go to. A lot of people don't know this, but to get your international driver's license is only $15. You just go to your AAA, you're in and out in 15 minutes.
That's it?
That's it. Okay. That's it.
Should I get it? Am I getting the driver's license before I'm going?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you keep it in your wallet, and you just, if anybody ever needs to see your driver's license, you can pull out your state driver's license if you're a U.S. citizen, and your international driver's license. It's easy.
Okay. Any tests?
No. No tests. And so I typically rent a car. It's the best way for me to sort of get off the beaten path. I was just recently in Cape Town, and they drive on the opposite side of the road, and I've never driven on the opposite side of the road. And so that was an experience in and of itself. But the amount of Cape Town and southern South Africa that I was able to see was phenomenal. I mean, that would have cost in Ubers quite a bit of money.
Right. Yes.
So yeah.
Awesome.
What about you?
I say if you're traveling by yourself and you want to say you're taking my path and you're staying at a fun glam hotel, you're not Airbnb-ing it, to pick a place with a sexy hotel bar so that you can just go downstairs. You know, I love in Miami, they have a lot of hotels. Fontainebleau has a sexy bar. A lot of SLS, all these different places have really fun bars where you just put on something cute and go sit downstairs. And I promise you, you will meet someone. You will meet someone. Figure out what's going on. Figure out what some of the activities are. Go to the concierge when you get there and let them know that you're going to be there by yourself. What are some cool things to do? I'm telling you, like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with traveling by yourself. A lot of people, I think, are a little bit afraid. I think that you should start small. Like, you know, if you want to go cross country, you want to go out of the country, but start with like an hour or 2 hour drive away.
Absolutely.
Then take an hour, 2 hour flight away. And then you go. But like, what are some tips? And especially for people who are going cross country by themselves, because you do that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I say like for people who tell me, you know, solo travel, I don't know if it's for me. I've always traveled in groups. And to your point, starting small. But if you've never been anywhere by yourself, taking yourself out on a date, going to the movies, right? Going to the park and bringing a really great book, that's a great start. And then hopping, you know, driving 2 hours to do like a little staycation and moving up from there. And then if you're traveling out of the country, start with an English speaking, like, you know, country like Mexico is very friendly to tourists. And so like starting there and then sort of branching out from there. But once you do it, absolutely. Once you do it, it's just like, how could I not do this again? It's so liberating. You're on your own time, you're on your own schedule.
Right.
The way that social media has changed our lives, you hop into like any particular city, you go into like a hashtag on Instagram and you can find what people are doing.
If you tag the location and then you hit the location, you'll see pictures of other people who are at the same hotel. If you hit the hashtag, you find people who are just there, you know? So I think that we are really more connected than you think. It's definitely not scary. Always let somebody know that you're traveling. When you're traveling by yourself, let somebody know every single thing that's going on. Your flight information, your flight number, because if something happens.
Taking like scans of like your passports and emailing them to yourself. Like not even like printing them out and keeping them on your person, but emailing them to yourself is something that you can always.
In case you lose your passport, you can go into your email, into the cloud, type it in, and you have everything you need, because crazy things happen.
Absolutely.
Well, we hope that helps you. We definitely want to know where you're going this summer. You can hashtag us in your pictures. You can hashtag curlBOX. You can hashtag Travel Noire. Zim loves to see you. I love to see you on Zim's Instagram, and we're going to be sharing pictures all month. So tag us, because we want to know where everybody's going.
Absolutely.
Peace.